Alright, this podcast is to give you an idea of the text structure and general chapter outline overview so that you can construct your diagram post as we begin to read the Odyssey. Now, our goals for this podcast are we want to be able to know what the different sections of the Odyssey are, we want to know what the different names of those sections are, as well as know how order is very much a factor here, a very challenging concept in beginning to read the Odyssey. Now, the Odyssey is a verbal text, and that's important to note because it was a spoken word text far longer before it was ever written down. It existed for many, many years before it was ever committed to actual physical medium of recording it. It does, however, have what we can decide, scholars have decided, as 6 major divisions of the text, and they're of multiple chapters within each division. There are roughly 4 chapters within each division. There are a couple of exceptions to this rule, but really you have 6 divisions, around 4 chapters each. Now the 6 sections, and a little bit about each of them. The first section is known as the Telemachia. This is the story of Telemachus, Odysseus' son. The next section is called the Phaeaciid, and this is how Odysseus comes to the land of Phaeacia and speaking to the Phaeacians. The next section is the Apologoi, which is also known as Odysseus' apology. Then there is the Eumaeid, and this is Odysseus and his encounter with a swineherd named Eumaeus and how this alters his future. Then there is the Tocheiad, which is the division that deals with the disguises both physical and metaphorical. And finally, we have the Tissus, which is the section that deals with the bloody vengeance and end to the Odyssey. Now, we can represent these different ways in diagrams, but for our purposes, we're going to use different colored circles to represent each one of the different divisions. And the problem here is that chronology and presentation are not the same here. Now, in a perfect world, the way that the chapters are presented in the text, as you can see on the right-hand side, would be exactly the way they occurred within the time order of the world of the Odyssey, or its chronology. Yeah, but we have a problem. Chronology isn't presented in terms of the text. It's presented to you out of order. There are many time jumps, and this is what you must research and reflect in your diagram. Now, to give that an idea of what that is in terms of visually, well, if we took those colors away and we said that the presentation view stayed the same, and that's the order that you read them, you can see how all these different colors are out of order and jumping around in terms of what you might have known previously. These colors are jumbled from what they were. That's the problem with the divisions of the text in the Odyssey. Chronology is not equal to presentation. The order in which you read it is not the way that it happens within the text, and you need to be mindful of that. So you'll create your own diagram. You'll have one section that presents the order of divisions as they would be read, and then another diagram alongside it, around it, next to it, however you need to depict it, that shows the divisions of the text in the order they occurred in the world. So we'll talk more about this as we go, but it is important to know chronology not equal to presentation in this case.